Yeah.
What is happening, everybody? Welcome to the Horns Forward Podcast Recovery Edition. Uh, Several of us are a little bit worse for wear from having made the trip to Detroit, and we have got some stories to talk about tonight, man. I apologize if it looks like I'm half asleep. It's because I kind of am, right? But definitely lots to talk about. And I'm not really sure where we want to start tonight, guys. So probably should go around the horn and introduce ourselves, even though I would think that somebody knows at least one of us. But go ahead.
210 Brahmasita, aka Jackie. He ain't even looking.
He's not even looking. Hey, I'm BD.
So
Yeah, you're
BD,
skipping the horn.
Normally I would be cracking the beer open, but as you can tell, the voice is a little gone. So they got some hot tea tonight. So
We have more than just his hot tea. We have other hot tea.
okay, I like that one. I said
This
DJ.
I didn't
Yeah,
even
but I
hear
think
I didn't hear you.
yeah, both of you were talking at the same time.
you.
Oh
So-
no, I said the DJ before. I thought he said around the horn. So
DJ, aka our stats guy, aka coach, aka professional
Mhm.
analyst, sports analyzer guy, and of course me, loudmouth of the South, Saj, and not so loud today, right? We're trying to preserve what little voice I have left because in a couple of days we're going to be doing this crap all again. So, so yeah, you guys know us. Here we are. What do we want to talk about first? Because again, lots to talk about. Saw a different team this week, different looks, different everything. Short week with. Well, I guess we probably should talk about the coaching controversy that kind of led up into this week, and not a lot of details or anything because we don't really know a lot of details, and I don't want to get too much into that.
first,
man, go ahead.
kick it off with y'all trip, man. The experience and stuff. What y'all experienced.
Oh,
you want to go
Lord.
into that?
Trip. How was the game? Like you got to talk about that first before we even get
Okay.
into. That's
I mean,
supposed to be the
we
one
might
story.
spend a hot minute talking about the trip. So
That's cool.
Oh,
There's-
Lord.
It ain't really nothing to really
Talk
talk
about
about
the
the game, but
Okay.
But no. Go ahead.
There-
Talk about the trip. Talk about the trip.
So
you
I
want-
mean, it was my first time in Michigan, first time in Detroit.
Same.
Once we got out of where we were staying at, you get downtown. I mean, really nice architecture.
Scared.
The bricks were great.
The bricks.
beautiful
The
bricks.
bricks were beautiful. But no, it was really nice, and I mean even like just the environment was good.
Wait, he's making it sound all fine and dandy, y'all. Hold on.
I think we need to foreshadow. Yes, that is the 8 Mile hotel that we stayed at.
Look, let me give a little context. Okay. Normally, if you've done any Bulls on tour with us, I'm a planner. I plan and I vet things out way in advance. So the night before we're supposed to leave, oh look, I'm all blocked. Why ain't nobody telling me my face is all blocked up there?
I'm trying to. There we go.
We
We'll put it back up in a bit.
we unfortunately got an email saying that the B&B that we had booked the night before had a leak and it flooded, so they canceled. So I was like, oh no. So I was just behind the scenes trying to find something, and it's not our house. I do not claim this in the name of Jesus. The pictures look great. Like it tells like a cute little spacious and cozy and blah 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 blah. Like we all had our own rooms. I was like, okay, great. And it's still close to Ford Field. And let me tell you what, when we rolled up on Munster House in the hood, like we said it's 8 Mile, but it's not 8 Mile, but it might as well have been. There was lots of fun activity happening outside of our little humble abode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lots
Hold
of
up.
transactions.
Yeah, there was a couple cars that would sit there for quite a while, and people would come up to the window. And,
Wait, what?
Y'all did not tell me that the house beside y'all had boards on the window.
Yes, it was boarded
Man,
That's the
up.
house next
See,
door. That was the
Yeah.
house next door.
I would still look.
They don't
If I was
show
with y'all,
the
look.
surroundings.
If I was with y'all, that's an absolutely no.
Well,
I
that's
grew
how
up
I
in
felt.
neighborhoods where
But-
the windows is boarded,
but
so I
hang
know
on.
what
Look,
time it is.
we survived.
Hang on. Brahma Babe makes a point here. We get street cred now, baby.
A whole lot of it.
Hood.
Yep.
Look,
Okay.
so this
I
was our little
trailer
house.
park to the hood. So I got
It
this
was-
covered, man.
It was very
How
weird.
far was it from the stadium?
10 minutes, not even.
Not even. Yeah.
Not even. It was literally like if you turned off of the street, you could see downtown right past that way. It was like a straight shot.
Y'all should have told me that y'all had houses next door to y'all. Boarded
Look,
up. I would have
This
absolutely
was
no.
I didn't want to give all the fun stuff that happened. Look, all I gotta say is in the past 48 hours, I got about a total of 2 hours of sleep because I was protecting everybody in the house from all kinds of crazy things that were
Hey,
happening.
Mama Bear.
First night,
Yep.
okay, look, our house rules per Airbnb was quiet time was between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. But I don't think our neighbors below us got the memo because they
No.
hardcore partied until 5, 6 o'clock in the morning when it was time for us to get up. I could not sleep because I was like terrified of what was going to happen.
Hold on.
Like,
So
Jackie, tell everybody what you would, what you would do when you were.
wait.
in the middle of the
One
night.
question. Just quick question. So that house right there wasn't just y'all. It was other people in there.
it's a
Yeah.
duplex, so there's a door. So that's Brahma Bro standing out, being a protector while we were leaving this morning.
Well, technically, it was a
hell
triplex.
no.
Yeah.
It was a
was-
triplex. That way we did not
No
know.
way.
So it was a
Because of the
triplex.
ghosts upstairs. Talk
So,
about
look,
the
this is
ghost
why-
story.
Look, the way I freaked myself out. So last night, okay,
Oh my god.
the night before, yeah. So we got to put that. Like, I was so scared our first night that we were putting booby traps. It was a lot.
If
Like
y'all
I was
had to
like,
do all of that, y'all gotta go, man. Y'all gotta
and look, we had already paid for it. We were just gonna write it out, right?
Yep.
We there because the way
We
this
did.
place was set up was really, really weird. Like it had doors upon doors and doors that were locked that nobody like couldn't get into. So all kinds of things were running in my head. But yeah, like we put a chair. I'm like, yeah, because if they try to open this second door, they're not gonna expect the chair. We're gonna be able to hear it. I even tested my door out and I'm like, oh man, my door jams and it makes so much noise. So by the time somebody tries to enter my room, I'm dialing 911 and I'm hoping that they miss BD's room, who was way in the front and it was like separated by this weird ass hall that, oh, he could come up behind them and take them out. Like I had all kinds of things going in my head. The next night, it was
Yep.
quiet downstairs, but all of a sudden there was noise upstairs. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is a like, why? Where is there a third floor? In that picture, there's no third floor.
Somebody was in the attic.
That's what I was thinking, but like it sounded like Dutch clogs running up and down above us. And I'm like, is there a third floor? And we didn't realize until the next morning there was, in fact, a third floor. But I, again, freaked
We
myself
think.
out. And
We
I'm thinking
think.
of like American Horror Story. There's all these tunnels and stuff. And you can hear every creak in the house. And I legit, with my chancla and like my phone light, every noise, I was just like, and I
You were
stayed up
ready.
all
So
night.
I'm ready here. This is what Jackie was looking like.
Y'all was hunting ghosts.
I was.
Yeah.
And I was so delirious in the morning, right? I had no sleep these past 48 hours. And in the morning, I was like, y'all have no idea what I did for y'all. Staying up and protecting y'all from whatever's in this house. But everyone survived.
I was gonna add the X-Files background to that picture too, or the song to that picture too, but I didn't want to get like another strike against us. So
Yeah.
I figured
you
just
said
wasn't enough for the show.
The church was boarded up, guys.
The church up the street was boarded up.
I want to say something, but I think it's inappropriate.
Look, I even flipped out.
Just
when
know
I-
we not doing that. We not doing that. We're not
So
doing that.
all I gotta
So
say, it was wild. And
We're
it was
not doing.
not,
real
We're
it
not
was,
doing
look,
that.
it was not up to my caliber. Like, I apologize to everyone. Like, this is not this was not in the pictures. This was not what I was thinking was where we were gonna be. But
But
we
it was a
survived.
part of one of the
Guys,
best trips that we've had. So
realistically, yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
We got to see a lot of people up there. Obviously we met, the My Panther Pride guys and their crew. We
Mhm.
got to hang out with we got to visit with some of the players after the game. And normally you get to anyways, but this was like extended time. It wasn't like come out, hang out, 5-10 minutes, hug family, maybe sign a couple of autographs, and then go. Look, I'm all covering up Sleepy's face. That's so rude of me. Um, but I just noticed that. So sorry, Sleepy. Um, but
Rude.
it was just
He
it
know. Juan
it
know.
was there was so much fun stuff that happened, that the craziness of that story, and honestly probably the neighbors were probably more afraid of us than we were of them, because all of a sudden there's this mixed group of people that's
It wasn't
just
mixed.
in their
It was
area.
highly favored on one side.
yeah,
Yeah.
So did My Panther Pride ask y'all where y'all was staying at?
After, so originally I give them the original address that we were staying at, which was a much nicer neighborhood. Like, they had
Mhm.
pictures of the outside and everything. Like, this one just had pictures of the rooms, and when it said it had 4 separate bedrooms, it was enough for all of us. We'd all have our own bed. I was like, oh,
Done.
perfect, because I was panicking the last hour. So once everyone found out where we actually were, they're like, holy moly, what are y'all
Yeah.
thinking?
I would too. But Juan, yes, we and them, we all, because I know next time, DC
No.
happens. I'm from DC, so I know. I'll let them know. I'll let them know where not to go. But other than that, yes.
Well, and we were in DC last year.
Right, right,
So,
right.
we definitely know people there. We know what areas to go into, what areas to stay away from. Brahma Babe spent time in the DC area as well. She's the one who took us to the Poltergeist or the Exorcist stairs, whatever it
The
was.
poltergeist
Georgetown, yeah.
Whatever, close enough.
made us go through a
Um,
whole tour of the city.
yeah, when it was all muggy and swampy, if you get what I'm saying. It was not the most comfortable trip there, right? Um, but yeah, so we're familiar enough with the DC area that we even know to stay out of the Francis Scott Keys Park now because of our last experience.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
again, the craziness of this trip, it makes this trip even better. This is by far probably the top. We were talking about it. This is probably like the top 3 trips that we've
Yeah,
taken as the Brahmas family. It's
even though
just been
even though I
incredible.
feared for my life the entire weekend,
Yep.
it was by
And
far
really,
the funnest weekend I ever had. Like, terrified and all. I don't think I've laughed and got to know these people more than I needed to know, like
yeah.
bodily functions and all, y'all. Like,
Uh,
we're family for
apparently,
sure at this point.
yep.
apparently there was flatulence galore. I don't
There
know.
was challenges, fart challenges.
I didn't know about that.
Oh,
Man, I missed out. I would have beat you all.
uh, I mean, it didn't happen in person.
Oh,
Uh,
no.
but yeah, that's for sure.
Yep.
I mean, even to the point when we were walking this morning through the airport and we were talking about the architecture and how beautiful it was and how we loved tan and lime brick and all in, there were so many little sayings that everyone did this weekend that are just like stuck with us. Um, but yeah, we survived. We've got street credit now, and it was a fun trip. Um, Tailgating was a lot of fun. So yeah, thank you again to the guys in My Panther Pride, for hosting us and making sure we ate breakfast in the morning. It was cold. It was a little cold, but it was a good
It felt
cold.
great.
It
I,
was a
I,
good cold.
I took a hoodie with me. I never wore it once.
Yeah, I wore it today, which I regretted wearing after I wore it. Like, oh dang.
But no, yeah, I mean,
Sure.
once we
Oh,
got
yeah.
to the state or to Ford Field and hung out with the My Panther Pride and came in, walked down the concourse, it was a great time, just a great environment. Jay and I, the My Panther Pride, they
Look how cute they are. The guys 12 and 13. Oh, I can't get over it.
took a picture of us
Best friends for
from
life.
across the way. But I mean, anybody who's been with us at a game knows when me and Jay walk into a stadium, we
Oh,
hold
Lord.
our Brahmas flag and we start yelling down the concourse, "Here we go, Brahmas!" And we were getting razzed by the fans and they were booing,
Uh-huh.
but it was all in good fun. We weren't getting cussed at or anything like that. Like they weren't mad. It was a good fun time. And even like just all the fans that were around us, except for the ones that told us to sit down. But
Oh, well, let's talk about that because we're talking about the experience altogether. I will say that I was really sad at my overall game experience only because I, know, you know, at the end of the day, I love the guys in my Panther Pride, but Michigan don't know how to football right. Um, the
Hmm.
it was so I mean, like I got to rewatch the game today, and how you can hear me yell so clearly just goes to show you. I mean, like I was telling you guys earlier, when number 80 snapped his knee, and the fact that you can hear it so clearly, that's the same way you could hear it in the stadium because it was so quiet.
yeah,
Quiet. Not until it started getting to third and fourth quarter and they started picking up on what we were doing, which I think is another reason why we got told to sit down. So basically, we all stand the entire game. That's what we do. It's very rare that you're going to catch us sitting there. But I think they were starting to get upset behind us. Somebody did yell, a lady yelled for us to sit down. And about 5 minutes later, police came and told security that ended up telling us that we needed to sit down
What?
during the game,
yeah.
during the football game and he said, I don't mind you guys standing up like if you make a
So why you
touchdown.
come to me then? Oh, you talking about only you? No, I paid money to sit right here.
That's
Do
right.
whatever I want to do.
I paid 90. This is a football game and you want me to sit down? Like, I was just very, very confused. And
I agree, Jesse.
it was, yeah, it was just a weird experience. They didn't know how to get loud on defense like at all. They ended up so like even their hype squad, when we were getting loud for our defense, they thought it was time for them to try to get louder than us. So they were holding up their signs to get loud while they were on offense. But even then it didn't work. Like
Wow.
it was not there was just this one older gentleman that was to the left of us that held it down with his boat noise. He was just like, oh, that was the only one that was like really trying to do something for his defense. But other than that, it was nothing but a lot of people sitting down and being quiet. And I think they were really annoyed with us.
And
Yeah.
I made after they asked us, I made the my own executive decision that I'll sit down while they were on offense. There's no way in hell I'm sitting down while we were on defense. So
Yep. Now, I will say there was a group of little kids that was standing next to us, and they were starting to get into it and starting to get all excited and everything. Um, when that was the case, right? BD and I kind of leaned over to him and we are like, hey, look, guys, this is kind of how this works, when we're playing football. Like when our defense is on the field, that means your offense is on the field. You want to be as quiet as possible so your players can hear each other, calling audibles, things like that. When your defense is on the field, that means our offense is on the field. That's when you guys are supposed to get loud. We kind of helped them out a little bit. And so they caught on and they were having a good time. And they were doing a little bit of trash talking. And, they're like 10, 11-year-old kids. So, yeah, I mean, we kept it, within that vein that we weren't really bagging on them and stuff. And one of the kids was like, he asked me, he's like, hey, are you going to cry when San Antonio loses? I was like, I won't cry, but I'll shake your hand. How's that sound? And he was like, huh? Okay. And so we did, right? We kept it, to our word. Again, this is football. This is fun. This is important for us and everything. But at the end of the day, right after the score is decided, the last whistle is blown and everything, it goes back to supporting the league. And so that's what we're going to do, and that's the message that we're trying to give everybody when we're interacting with all these fans, that yeah, it's okay to razz each other a little bit. Don't make it personal or anything. Razz the players, because that's what they're getting paid for, right? But at the end of the day, when the game is over with, we all shake hands like good sports and walk out and talk about some, the highlights, and hey man, you guys did really
Yep.
well. It's no secret, I'm a Packers fan. Been a Packers fan since '82 when we were the worst team in the league, right? Jorge is a Packers fan also. He would have probably had the same experience as I did. It took a lot to walk around in Ford Field and not want to, just do bad things in the place. But the staff there was so incredible. Everybody, I can't tell you how many times people walked up to us and said, I can't believe how far you guys traveled to support your team. You guys are incredible fans. We love your energy. We need you guys back. We need more of you, right? And it's not trying to brag about us, but like that's the kind of stuff that an opposing fan should hear.
Yeah.
Is that, man, we had such a good time with you guys here. We want you back, right? Because that's exactly what we do with everybody else that comes and visits us, right? That's how we made friends with like the Banditos and the Twin Towers, which are now back, by the way, and I'm very excited to hear about that. Excalibur the Lou. Yeah, Rig and his brother. Yeah.
They can put the S back now.
Yeah, I don't know what the brother's code name is, so it's just the Twin Towers. But again, right? That's how we've made all these friends. That's how we met My Panther Pride, was through, the podcasting and networking and all the things that we've done. This is the kind of environment that we want to have, where we're open and welcoming to everybody. You come down, you're hanging out with us, your family, right? Game starts, you're the enemy. And we're going to talk trash and we're going to do all kinds of crazy stuff. Game's over with, we're back out hanging out just like friends, And I think that vibe is really starting to catch on, not just because of us. I don't want to make it sound like it's all because of us or anything, but I think the hardcore fans are getting it, and they're starting to spread that message to everybody else, right? DC is great about that, about making sure that, they're always open and welcoming. Captain Obvious, Defender, who will be on later, the guys in the Beer Snake, even though we can't get into the Beer Snake, they're still quite welcoming to us, right? And I think it's important, again, that we highlight that this is our first trip to Michigan, and it definitely will not be our last, just because of how warm and welcoming they were. I will say, though, that the spirit of Jorge, right, the Mariachi Brahma was with us in the form of Jackie. If you want to talk about that story a little bit, because that was
So if Jorge has he'll either have something that he'll say repeatedly that he thinks annoys everybody, but it does annoy everybody.
It does, yeah, it does.
And then he'll have or he'll do a player's name just repeatedly over and over. So one that he did in Memphis was, when they would play their boat horn, he would get really upset. What would he say?
That's a train horn. That's not a boat horn.
Not a boat horn. Well, they do the same thing, but with I don't think it's a panther roar. It's a growl. Yeah, so I was like, that's a puma roar, not a panther roar. And we would just do every different cat every time they played it. And we would just yell it out just so his spirit would be there. That's a jaguar roar, not a panther roar, that's a lion roar. So he was still there in spirit with us.
Yep. Definitely represented well.
Everyone's gotten a taste of it now.
Yeah. I think the fans that were there to kind of, cheer on their team and everything, I really think they kind of picked up on some of that vibe. Because probably by the third quarter, you guys know BD and I are always doing the false cadence. We're calling out fake plays and stuff. My famous one to go to is, 7 underdog sweep, or 7 underdog right, or, just something like that, right? Trying to throw off the play that they're actually trying to call.
Well, there you go. There's the answer to the.
See,
It is a trade horn. So I'm probably right.
guess-
It's probably a lion roar. That don't sound like no panther.
it's a house cat roar, not a puma
It's a
roar.
kitty roar.
But so BD and I are notorious for trying to help get that false start, right? Turbo is always the call, to speed up the offense. Like pretty much every team does that. We're constantly screaming turbo or kill, right? Well, by the third quarter, people behind us were starting to do the same thing, and I'm like, okay, now you're getting it. Like,
Finally.
welcome to football 101. This is what you're supposed to do, But yeah, I gotta say, there was 8 of us there, including
6 of us, and then
well, it
the
was us
family.
6, and then the 3 that were with us, Tanner and his parents, and then the family that's in there, which they're probably not getting nearly as crazy as we are.
They
But
leave
you
at
can
12.
clearly hear us. You can clearly hear us again on the national broadcast, right? Our players knew we were there. Like
Oh, yeah.
as we're coming down, the 18 million steps to get down to our set, because apparently, when they built Ford
The
Field, they didn't think
staircase
about
to heaven.
there's going to be some older people coming down there, and you're going to need some landings for resting. I swear to God, there was like 250 steps to get down to our seats.
It was.
Um,
My
it
calves
was
are
horrible.
hurting
with
today.
I've always kind of thought, looking at the games, with the attendance, kind of being sporadic, you see everyone all spread out throughout the section. I'm like, man, why don't all the people up at the top just kind of
Come
come
down.
closer to the
Yeah.
field? And I've always thought that. And then I walked up the steps from the bottom. I was like, yeah, now I know why they're on top. Yeah, I get it.
Yep. But again, right, our rowdy little group, the Bulls on Tour, you could hear us on the national broadcast. DJ, you saw it. You heard it, right? You could
heard
hear
Jackie
Jackie
screaming.
clearly. You could clearly hear Jackie screaming on that one penalty call, right?
Oh, yeah, when I was all party. Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
So
We've updated
our new sign,
Yep.
Puro
And he
Pinche Party.
he signed it for me. He loves the sign on
Yep.
his first
And yeah, I
first
mean,
coaching.
anytime like something good happened for the Brahmas, you could hear on the broadcast cheering. That was us. Most,
Yep.
I mean, and not just us. There were other Brahmas fans scattered around, but
Mhm.
That's
But
dope.
we brought our traditions with us. That's a
Yeah.
Brahma's first down, the whole thing. And gotta give mad shout out to the ladies. They did their echo thing perfectly, right? So it really it had that home game feel, man. It was nice.
I can't
So,
wait. Man.
Yeah.
So we're almost 30 minutes in. We haven't even talked about the actual game.
I
Yeah,
know.
let's talk about it.
Look,
Let's talk about it.
I will
What
say they put up a good fight. When they finally started kind of getting things, it was a good fight towards the end. So I
Yep.
will
I
say
mean,
that.
I think everyone can agree. Like the offense looked a lot different, a lot better. They, kind of all the stuff that we've been saying.
Yeah.
Start McFarland. They did that. He was active. He had a hell of a game. Have Mon run the read option. They did that, and it was successful when they did it. They put him in better situations to make good plays. And now there were still some missed passes that he made, some misreads, some miscommunication between him and the receiver. Harris dropped 3 balls in the first half.
He's killing me.
So, I mean, still, like what we were saying before, there's still a lot of stuff that needs to work on. But this game was by far the best this team has looked all year. And it actually looked like, okay, this is something we can build off of. Because, I mean, after last week, we're like, man, I don't know what the hell's going on with this team, what's happening. This was, okay, this is a team that can win. The first game under a new system, kind of new strategy, whatever, they looked good. And it was a good game on both sides by, Michigan played a hell of a game too. So,
Yep.
So let me ask you this though. Do any of you guys feel like a sense of urgency? Because
I think you have to now.
mind you, it's only 10 games. This is
Yeah.
we going into the 4th week, so I
mean,
think
yeah.
we
the
absolutely
train is
have
slowly.
to win both games against DC. That that there's if we lose next week, there's no way we're going to make the playoffs. I don't care because we have to have a tiebreaker against DC, and I mean we have to beat St. Louis in the game against them. We have one more against Arlington. I mean we have to go perfect. Maybe we can lose one more, but it would have to be a Birmingham or something like something in the USFL conference.
Out of the conference.
We cannot lose another XFL game.
It's either Birmingham or Memphis at that point.
Birmingham, Memphis, or Houston, because this was our first
the first
USFL game. So
Okay.
Yeah. So at this point,
go ahead, Jay.
I was just going to say, at this point, I agree that there is a sense of urgency. We are too far behind with conference games that, we've already lost against two conference, competitors. We have to win every single conference game, not even counting, I don't even care about the USFL conference games, just the XFL conference. We have to beat DC twice, cannot come to a tiebreaker, and we have to win out against Arlington and St. Louis and still hope that those two wins against DC are going to be enough to get us into the XFL conference championship game. And it's going to be tight. I'm not going to lie.
I think listening to Party in his interviews, in his post-game press conference, talking to him a little bit when outside and stuff, he knows this as well. The team knows this, and even the ones that we talked to, they're like, man, we're almost there. We're almost there.
Yeah.
Like they know it. So
Party.
I think everyone realizes that.
Party literally said, "Do not give up yet. Do not give up on us yet. We're right here. We're about to figure this out. It's about to be big." Don't give up.
I know we not giving up. Like we're gonna be at the games for sure. So we not giving up.
I mean, there's nothing you could say to the fickle fans that as soon as we start out, losing, that they're already like, we're done. The season's done. Like, bro, we went 7-3.
Facebook. I hate it.
Yeah,
and
3
and 7.
Do what they do. They're gonna do what they're gonna do what they're gonna do. But at the end of the day, the team knows that. The team knows who their fans are that are gonna keep showing up regardless. And that's what I don't think our other fans understand, is that the team knows this. They read these comments. They're out there. They can see all the stuff that we put out there. And yeah, it sucks for them, but they see us backing them no matter what.
Yeah.
I definitely want to jump in here while we've got the momentum talking about the team. Compare what we saw from the players in St. Louis after the game to what we saw in DC. It's a 180-degree difference. Okay. The players in St. Louis, you could tell, were frustrated. They were hurt. There's a couple that came up to us, gave us hugs. You could tell they were holding back emotions. They were choking things back because they didn't want to break down, because they felt that weight of disappointment on their shoulders. Like, they take this that seriously. And then the attitude that they had on Sunday when we saw them was like, you know what? This sucks. It sucks that we lose, or that we lost, but we were about that close from time.
It was like
about
that close.
Off screen. But they know they're right there on the cusp of greatness, right? And to Havo's comment real quick, he said, like, we're playing against the wall. That's where you separate the players from the true champions, right? When the difficulty increases, the true champions step up and fight through it. And I really think that is the vibe that we're getting from the team right now, is that they know how important, not even for us, but for them, right? How important it is for them to rise to this challenge and show that they've got the grit, right? Because that is going to, help us out as a fan base. It's going to strengthen our resolve with our dedication to the team. But realistically, it also increases their chances of, getting more looks, because we're now the come behind team, right? We get to 4-3, right? 4 wins in a row. NFL scouts are going to be seeing that and saying, okay, look at these. These are the dogs. These are the guys that we want in the trenches, right?
Yep.
So I really think they understand the gravity of the situation. And I think you're going to see that resolve that we just talked about especially the party at the helm, you're going to see that come to fruition here, and we're going to have a very, very nasty team.
So,
yeah.
DJ, I don't think what did you think about the game? You're watching it, away or on the broadcast.
So first watch, I know we talked about it already. The team looks totally different, and I agree. We've been beating the table on starting McFarland and putting John as a third down back, which we did, and have Jashawn running in and out like first, second, sometimes on certain series and stuff. I'm so disappointed in Harris, man, because like he was my first Know Your Brahmas, and I know that he's Mon's safety blanket, but I just like, bro, you gotta be dependable enough to make catches, bro. You gotta make catches,
Yes.
especially in a league like this. Like people see this, like you can't
Yeah.
be dropping passes like that. This
And,
goes
I
for
mean,
this goes for D2 because I got smoke for D2 because that's my guy, and he can't be inconsistent like that. And I know Jesse made a good comment earlier. Was
Yeah.
like, bro, don't give the fucking kicker an interview before the kick. Game tying kick at that.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
stupid.
exactly.
And D said it last year too. He was like, I hate the fact that they keep putting the camera in my face, and it's not about me. It's about the team.
Yeah.
So stop doing that. I'm split right now on the whole like the bringing the mic around, interviewing players and coaches during the. I know it gives fans a different point of view of it, but I'm like, bro, it's distracting the players at the same time. Like you can't do that, man. Like
I think it's fine. It's fine after a play,
Yeah.
coming back from a timeout when there's kind of a stoppage. That's the perfect time to do that. When you're like looking at the play, D's, he's trying, like he said, he's trying to get locked in. He's trying to get focused. That's not the time to put a microphone in his face and ask him how he's feeling.
Defense on the defensive side, man, Matt Gotel, dog, man, he was cooking. Right in the interior D line, he was cooking. They still getting killed on the zone. Like the receivers on the other teams are finding the soft spots in the zone. They giving too much on the zones. When they got in man, they was just getting killed from the meshes and the slants and stuff. So I don't know. It's we gotta. I think it's like tape is important. I mean, we might need to buckle down on that and like really study our opponents because we going into another. Like I think we suck against running quarterbacks, and we about to get another one, which is Teyamu with the RPOs and like they killed that. And their receivers. I just got an alert that Ty Scott is on the IR, which is one of their top receivers, which we got be going into the game again with not having to worry about another top receiver. So that's a big one for them. But man, like defense got to buckle down. They can't be giving up those big runs. Penalties has been killing us.
Penalties, just undisciplined play. And I mean, yeah, we were getting killed by Perkins, man, on that read option. It was just the line, they wouldn't keep containment. It was just the same damn thing. They run in and thought you were going to hit the quarterback for a 3-yard loss, and then here comes quarterback out the side for a touchdown or whatever. Just every damn time.
Yeah, well, that was like when they did it like 3 in a row.
Yeah,
they played the same play 3 times in a row. Like, what in the heck? Like the first time he fooled me, but then I saw it the second time, and then the third time I was like, "Are you kidding me? What is going on?"
So Sheridan is a dog. Like I don't know where y'all found that dude. I heard they say Monmouth University. I was like, I don't even know where that's at, bro. But wherever y'all found that dude at, I heard it on the broadcast. He was saying something like he got injured and he was working his way back to the field. But he's a dog, man. And I mean, y'all. I mean, Michigan is trending up, dog. Like that's a good. That was a good win for him. I saw a lot of people saying that this was the best game so far this season. Yeah. I just hate how it ended, but I mean, it was a great game though.
And I think what about this? I think from a league's perspective, yes, yeah.
Jordan Mosley, man, my guy, Jordan Mosley.
He crawled up like a little baby.
He did have a terrible penalty, man. That I was so blown. Like I'm like, bro, you got to do better than that. Him and Jay Will. I'm waiting for the response back.
I'm waiting too.
That penalty that Jay Will did, again on record, the penalty that Jay Will did was wrong. He was wrong. Brian said that
I disagree. I disagree. I think Jay Will was already going in. He was already making his dive, and then the quarterback slid.
He's already been asked.
He tried to kind of stop and turn and get in front of him, and so
But what I said was,
I understand why they call it for quarterback safety.
Look,
I hate that call because you can see a defender is trying to stop. It was kind of bang.
This what gives it away though. This what gives it away. And Jay Will knew he was wrong because when he got up, he did this.
He was smacking.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
like he knew it was a bonehead play. That's all. That's all it is.
Listen to coach.
Man, look, it was wrong. I'm gonna stick with my boys regardless. But when you're wrong, you gotta admit that you're wrong. Just telling them that they're right all the time is not going to help. You gotta correct things like this.
Right, and I get what you're saying, but I still think he was committed to the play. You could tell he pulled up, he leaned over to make sure he was hitting with the shoulder, not with the helmet or anything. So he wasn't leading. Was it the right call? Yes, it was the right call. Can we do a little bit better? Yes, we can do a little bit better. But on the same token, there's a very fine line on that play. And I don't think it was intentional. He made a mistake, yes. I think the conversation needs to be, hey, man, you know what you did. Fix it, right? And then that's the end of it. Let the man fix it. That's it. But I still think it was a little bit excessive on the penalty. But then he did lay a really solid hit on
Trevor Lawrence last year. It wasn't a dirty. Like I said, man, he was already committed to it.
That man was laid out cold like he died.
Trevor Lawrence.
But did he die?
The quarterback too for Michigan.
Oh yeah,
like he died.
That was an obvious penalty right there. That one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the Mosley, Mosley had him.
Yeah.
Like he did.
Yeah.
Well, I caught this when I watched it back. They were asking Blandino about it because they said it was kind of a bang bang play, and they said if he would have hit him, it was because it was like neck head areas where he got hit. If he would have hit him just in the chest with the shoulder, it wouldn't have been a penalty because he was out of the pocket and stuff. So now, if that was the NFL, Mosley would have gotten tossed out of the game. But
yeah. So
especially if it was Mahomes, but that's something else.
Right. Just for clarification, I did not pick up our player into the stands. He was crawling. Brahma Bro had one side of him. I caught
he was
the
being
other.
pushed BD, up also from underneath.
And BD had an arm over it. So it wasn't just me, right? I don't know that I'm that damn strong that I could pick a grown-ass man up off the ground like a baby, right?
Wait, let me see. I've got it right here. We can watch it and just clarify everything.
Watch the video. Watch the video.
I'll shut the sound off because it's not worth it, but
that's a pull. That's a pull.
That's a pull.
Brahma Bro had a hand in on that also.
This one. Y'all look like y'all were cradling a little baby.
Well,
I had the view right there.
We had a lot of help, so it wasn't just me or Brahma Bro or BD.
Yeah.
So, but there's still some more we want to dissect, but we need to bring on our special guest because he is in a different time zone and the man's got stuff to do tomorrow. So without further ado, I think we should go ahead and introduce our guest real quick, and that would be the DC Defender.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
For you, Jay.
The District Defender, I should say.
Hey, so I got a question for you, bro.
Yes, sir. My DC friend.
Yes, sir. How did y'all come about that little promo thing that y'all had on the TV? That was nice too.
Oh yeah, y'all were so. They like slapped your head on like an old senator and junk when they were doing the beer snake.
Did
you not see it?
Yeah, that. So ESPN came and filmed like a documentary for that beer snake last year. And they had it's crazy because they had us mic'd up in the crowd. They made me break tradition and be in the beer snake for the entire game for 2 games. That's why last season didn't go well. Well, I got front row, 50-yard line behind the team.
Oh, okay.
We do first half there, second half in the Beer Snake, and they had us mic'd up in the crowd, but I think they couldn't use any of that. And but he came up to me and he's like, "I really need you in the Beer Snake section for the entire game," and I was like, "I'm gonna have to ask Kyle." And he's like, "Go ask Kyle." And I'm picturing the ESPN producer like watching me go over there to talk to Kyle. You guys know Kyle, my season ticket partner. But I go over there and it's just like, and Kyle's like, and then he's like, "Oh, who cares?" He's like, "We've already ruined tradition already." So we had to go over there. But we got to film some things in our tailgate bar, Walters, at like 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. before a game one day.
Nice.
We started drinking in there when it was legally allowed, I'm sure. And that was a nice long day.
Of course it was. Of course it was.
But yeah, that full production of that documentary is so cool. It's really great. I like the way they put it all together.
No, it was good. It was good. They've shown it a couple times, and I've enjoyed seeing it.
Yeah, the first time last season they played it like right before a game, and we were in the bar. Some of us that were on it, and everyone in the bar just kept going crazy every time we went up on the screen. It was a good
my
time.
first time seeing it though.
Yeah, it was weird. They didn't use it in any of the game promo at all until this season.
Yeah. I mean, we're still waiting for them to call the Bulls on Tour people and do a special on us, but I guess.
Yeah, that'd be nice, but
we haven't
for real.
clocked enough.
Y'all been out there. Y'all been putting miles.
Apparently
on.
not enough. We haven't clocked enough miles yet for them to care.
Y'all went to Detroit.
In the ghetto.
Yeah.
I'll be in Detroit week 6. I'll be up there.
Oh, nice.
Well, I can tell you what street not to find a Airbnb.
Oh, I know Detroit. I hang out in Detroit. When I met my girl, she lived in Detroit, so I would go up there every other week for like a year. She took me to some wild spots where the artist had taken over, and I'm like, it's a lot has taken over.
Just don't go to the area with boarded up windows.
We could take you to some wild spots too. You know, we found a couple, so.
It wasn't that bad. You guys are making it sound like.
I'm sorry, you had a partner to sleep in bed with. I was sleeping by myself in a creepy house.
What I like about Detroit is it's like boarded up window, burnt down house, empty lot, G-Wagon in the driveway, empty lot.
Yep.
What's the vibes been like, man? What's the vibes been like in DC? I saw Ty Scott was out this game. What's that?
Yeah, like? I just saw that. That's he looked like he got hurt on a late play in the game too. I saw him like he went down. I forget what was going on. I think he was going for the ball real high and he like landed on his shoulder. I can't remember if he got tackled or he went down real weird. But I don't know. I just saw that right before I was talking to y'all.
I mean, y'all got to be feeling pretty good, man. Y'all had a nice win.
Yeah, this 6 days before the season starts, we find out that Reggie's gone. And then we find out Reggie's going to take everyone with him. But then we're like, all right, everybody's here. And then Shannon Harris has been doing great. It's I mean, I thought we were going to start off similar to how y'all have started off.
I did too.
He laughs.
I thought it was going to be reversed.
And then after game 2, when they're like, all right, Greg Williams is gone. It was like, all right, so is it coaching or players for the defense? And then this past game, that was one of the greatest defensive performances I've ever seen a team I'm rooting for do. That was incredible. They don't call us defenders for nothing.
We were watching it from a Detroit pizza shop, so
yeah,
one of the oldest.
Yeah, from like 46 or whatever. Definitely cheering you guys on the whole time.
Of course, it's the same love back and forth here. XFL for life.
From a personal standpoint, I just want to thank the DC faithful for what you did to Birmingham and to St. Louis.
Yeah.
I cannot thank you enough. Make sure you keep it up. Next time you play St. Louis, keep that pressure on them. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Because I think
We'll have them
they're
in our house too.
At best, I think they're a mid team. So I've already gone on record and said that. I think they caught a couple lucky breaks. They played us when we were not anywhere even close to, what we could be. And, they're going to catch some hands when we see them again. Let's put it that way.
I like
So
that. I thought y'all had it on was it yesterday? I can't even remember now.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
Man, I
Yeah.
thought we did too, but
Yep.
And I agree with you about you can interview a kicker after he misses the kick. Why are you interviewing a kicker before he takes the kick?
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Thank you. Makes no sense.
I love that a quarterback can throw an interception and then there's a mic and a camera in their face saying you might have just cost your team the game. How do you feel? Now I don't like it when they do it to us, but
Bro, it was a guy.
I do like it.
Who were they? They were doing that. Who were they doing that to? What was it? It was last week. No, it was Talmu. I think he had some like missed throws and stuff. And right after they were like, "Yeah, you sucked on that play. Tell us, how do you feel about it?"
Yeah.
Bro, it was a guy that y'all had. It was a lineman, maybe like the first season, 2020, maybe. And they interviewed him after the play, the penalty he had, and he cussed on TV. Like they put the mic in his face and he cussed on TV after the play. I was like, bro, that's insane. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you expect, man? He's gonna be mad.
He's in the middle of it.
Yeah.
You can't turn the switch off that quick.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that's when they got smart and started putting a delay and bleeping some stuff out. So.
Yep. So, talk to us about what to expect our game against you. Obviously, some of us will be making it up there. And what's your take on the game? How are things going to go? What's the party atmosphere going to be like? I know you guys are going to welcome us with open arms, at least until the game starts. So,
well, here's one thing I know. In 2023, 6-0 defenders went and played 0-6 Guardians, and it did not go our way. That's true. Every time it starts to get like this, I get scared. We had the big win, and then I know the fan base has been talking, oh, this is nothing, on to the next week. I'm like, no, this week. It's still this week. And it seems to me like the coaching and the players are all, it's always, every week is 1-0. And I think no matter who you're playing, you got to play whatever they did to prepare for Birmingham, whatever they did to prepare for the Battlehawks, that's how you got to do it. So I'm hoping that and the party is going to be a party.
Oh yeah.
Y'all haven't lost at home yet, right?
No, last season it happened because ESPN broke tradition, made me sit in the beer snake section the whole game. But
tradition is important.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, we reset this year, and we decided it's not even. The tradition this year, all the traditions are broken now, and tradition this year is have fun. If we're not having a good time, we switch it up. So we have been all over. There's a guy below me that's got a suite, so like an on-field suite. So we went down there for a little bit during the last home game, and we're just all over the place now.
So I know that there was some controversy with it last year and stuff. But I got to know, will they let us put a cup in the beer snake?
I'm going to see what I can do this time around. I'm going to try, first of all, try to sneak y'all some wristbands for that section and then see if we can go in there. I'm trying to get y'all on field passes before the game too. Because I got so many extra season tickets. Yeah, in the beer snake section, it started last season. You have to have a ticket for that section to go in there.
I literally
pay for two. I pay for my tickets and the beer snake ticket. The first season, I could just walk over there. I can still walk over there, but I got to bring Kyle, and they won't let him in.
That must have been like a late season edition because I went to the Vipers game and I just went over there with my cups and I just put on the snake.
Well, that might have been that was last.
I think it was a last season thing that they started.
Last season,
it started last season. Yeah,
when you guys played St. Louis because of fans from St. Louis. It happened like I think like 2 games prior or something because that's when we learned from the Predator couple that they weren't allowing it because of last week's game.
Yeah. A fan from St. Louis ruined it for everybody.
Yeah, St. Louis exactly. Fans because we know they're all douchebags.
St. Louis. You know? It's always got to be them.
Right. One other question, and then we got to let you go because I know you got a hard deadline of 9:00 because you got to work for a living tomorrow. But my question for you: if the game does not go your way, will we see the return of the Lemons on the field?
It's possible. We sneak them in there. I won't tell you how, but we're always locked and loaded.
Yeah, because it's probably parts that they don't check. So, yeah.
I can clench and cough. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
Your whole prison wallet. Anyways,
are y'all reserving a table at Walters this time?
Yep, we got one.
Brahma Babe's already done it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. So we will definitely be there.
What day are y'all flying in?
We're flying in
on Saturday.
On Saturday, okay. We gotta link up and come up with a video idea.
I mean, nothing will beat last year's because that was just hilarious.
Yeah,
it's still one of my favorite things that I've ever seen.
Yeah, that one. That's top. That's like probably the best one.
Yeah,
that one was epic. But
even though Mariachi Brahma made me do some questionable accents.
Well, I mean, the things you do, right? But it's all in good fun. So we probably won't. No, we'll get that crazy. I'm not going to lie. But all right, District Defender, cannot wait to see you on Saturday. We're going to have a great time. This is one of those trips that I'm definitely looking forward to. We won't all be together, but we'll have some of us there. Our sister will be there in spirit. Our brother will be there in spirit. Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answers to. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, District Defender, we will see you on Saturday. Gonna have an absolute blast, man. Cannot wait to hook up again.
Can't wait to see you, man.
I'll see you.
Real quick, guys, if you want to follow his antics, make sure you're checking him out on Instagram. Look for District Defender, who he's really hard to find in the off season, by the way. So,
I delete the app in the off season.
Right. Make sure you're following him now so you can see the updates before he goes incognito again and becomes a regular person. So, all right. We'll see you Saturday, man.
I appreciate y'all. See y'all.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say last season. I meant to say the season before when the Vipers was here. So, my fault.
Yeah. No, we got you. It's all good.
I was like, what the hell, wristbands? I didn't know they did that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But Battlehawks fans, so that makes sense.
You gotta ruin it for everybody.
Man.
It's probably partly that and partly the fact that, they saw a money-making opportunity, right? Let's be honest. It's an opportunity for some extra cash. I'm sure somebody was like, hey, right? Keep the Roddy fans out, make a little extra money.
That's not fair, though.
Everybody wins.
You make more money if you let all fans in.
That's what I'm about to say, because we came from we wasn't even in the Beer Snake section. We was off y'all was at last season, but up maybe a section or two in the club section. So we had our cups. We just walked them. We collected all the cups for that little section we was in, and we literally just walked around to the Beer Snake side and then put the cups on the Beer Snake. So I was like, it's taking away the fun from people, because people could walk over there and just add to it. Why would you? Yeah. Oh, you ain't got a wristband. You can't come over here. That makes sense.
Yeah, it was just because of the fans from prior, and I guess they were just causing issues with the people in the Snake section. Because we were lucky that James last season was there with us, because there were the other Brahma Bull that kind of does his little creepy side to side. Him and his family were there, and they actually had tickets in the Beer Snake section, and that's when James was like, well, nobody told us that we couldn't sell them to to our team, but they were able to come sit on the the field with us also. So it started last year with Battlehawks running it.
Look at Brahma Bay trying to question my DC, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that.
We're gonna go a little over today because we have so much stuff. So thanks for hanging in there if you've been here for the hour.
So Jackie, you want to roll us into our next segment?
Yeah, let me pull it up. Look at these rankings. These are our personal opinions.
I saw a couple rankings that had the San Antonio last, and I think they was basically going off of like overall ranking, like ranking.
They're going off a record,
power ranking.
you know.
Yeah, record. Yeah, this is a power ranking, like off of your performance. So
Mm-hmm.
And I think we played better than Roughnecks and.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you know. Like you said, there's a lot of them that had us at 8th, and I get that because we're 0-3. But look at the games last week. Houston, Houston has a win now, but they beat a terrible team. That we haven't had the luxury of playing a terrible team yet, so we look better than both of those teams in their game. So
we played 3 of the top 4 teams already, 5 teams already. So.
And I get what Tim is saying.
There are rankings, so we can do whatever the hell we want to do. All right.
Yeah, in your face.
Yeah. I get it, but again, it's look at the strength of schedule. Look at the teams overall. Look at our performance the first 2 weeks versus our performance this last week against a very strong Michigan Panthers team, right? And we held in there. So, and truth be told, right, we did miss 2 field goals that could have gotten us the win. There were red zone opportunities that we did not convert on.
You missed 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, 1. But
still, we didn't mention this, but we did have several positive drives that should have been touchdowns get pushed back because of penalties or whatever.
Our red zone offense is terrible, man.
Yeah, I
don't understand why we can't punch it in. I don't know. Maybe we'll see something different, but now look, this about to be the 3rd top 5 team we about to play. Yeah, that's crazy in 4 weeks. Other than the Stallions, all the other teams we played,
and all on the road too. Not one home game.
All on the road, bro. And I seen somebody made a good comment. They like, we need to play at home, man, and it's not fair. I hate that. And I get it, the scheduling and stuff like that. But as a fan, and we see all teams get 5 home games, and we could have had a home game one of these 3 first games that we played. Like, it's so annoying, man. Like I've never.
It is because at the end of the day, you have like when we talk about these fans that are just upset that we've lost so much already from the beginning of the season. It makes me worry about what first game is going to look like because of fickle fans just not giving it a shot. Like you win some, you lose some. Man, y'all haven't learned from being a Cowboy fans know this. We still come back every season.
Yep. I believe that we're gonna be fine. I think we're gonna bounce back from this when we do have our home game. We will be 1-3. And I think my co-host is joining the podcast here. Forgive me. I do think that we'll lose probably some because of the first 3 losses. Again, all of them being road games. But I think when we get to our home game, that's when we've turned the momentum in our favor. And, we'll have that one more road game. And then we've got that 3-game home stretch, right? And I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be all right. And we'll be picking up fans along the way. And I'm even going to go out on a limb here, and I'm not going to be petty and say, where were you when we were 0-3? I'm going to let it go. Let it go.
But Tim made a good point, man.
I won't let it go. I'll say.
I'll be petty.
But look, Tim made a good point though. Like, why wasn't this weekend a home game if the tourney is already over?
The Alamo Dome has a lot of stuff, that the city holds events and stuff in there. I don't know what it was. I'm not sure, but there was, I imagine there was something going on. What it was, I don't know, because I try and avoid the downtown as much as possible unless I'm at a Brahmas game. But
real quick, just want to give a shout out to our little buddy Wyatt, who we got to hang out with in Michigan.
Absolutely.
Excellent young man. Very exciting. He was right in the groove with us. He was yelling at the players. He was doing all the things, man. So it's an incredible young man. Just wanted to say hi to you real quick. Wyatt, horns forward, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, it was great meeting you, Wyatt, man. Fun hanging out with you at the game, man. And thanks for watching us.
I would never put Houston above us. Never. Never.
You will when we go on our tear. You will.
No, that makes no sense.
No, I said I would never put Houston
above us. Yeah. Above us.
You're right. You're right. Yeah. Why would we put? I'm sorry.
Why would we? I don't know. They.
Yeah, why would we?
They get their one little win off the showboats. I'm sure we're gonna get out dub off the showboats.
Yeah. Then they get one win off the train horns, and they're acting all high and mighty.
But
come on, dude.
In all fairness, I also know that's Mr. Predator, and he's fishing. Right, he's trying to get a reaction.
And even with that said, like they struggled for that one win that they had against them.
That's fine. Oh, when they come here, we'll take care of it. We'll find out. Right.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to seeing them and the Twin Towers and Mrs. Predator and everybody else that they're bringing with them. And it's going to be a good old time like it always is, man. Just big old Texas family homecoming. And then when Tim comes down on June 1st, I'll make sure I have tissues for all the banditos so they can dry their little crying eyes when they lose.
And our special potato salad tacos.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah.
For Marco's birthday.
Marco's birthday. We're going to have potato salad tacos just in honor of you, baby. So, anyways, now that we've kind of covered our power rankings, our officially unofficial power rankings.
The only ones that matter. I mean, I don't care about any other. These are the only power rankings that matter.
We should probably talk about our picks, and then Jackie, if you want to bring up that. Oh yeah.
Well, tell me what to do.
AJ Disciple, can you please bring up our picks for this week?
Dun, dun, dun. Wait.
Dun, 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 dun.
Before we get into that, let's see these standings. Woo!
Oh. It might look a little different this week.
DJ and Jorge in the lead.
Yeah.
Not for long.
In the middle.
Not for long?
Not for long.
Wait, what's the result? Right. You got the results from last week?
This is from last week.
This is included.
Okay, that's a total. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
That's 12. Yeah. 12 total games so far.
Yep.
I got to stay on the right path.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
trying to win something that doesn't exist.
Well, see, I'll say it now because you're saying it too, but DJ asked me about this yesterday. There is something that exists for the winner. I was going to surprise y'all, so I'm not going to tell y'all what it is.
We still don't know what it is.
You still don't know, but
I tried to get it out of her, guys, but she wouldn't tell me. So
I told him he could have one chance.
She shut me all the way down.
He didn't want to guess. So I said, I'll give you one try. But yeah, now so that's where we're at right now.
Okay.
See, we got best pod in the world, best UFL pod in the world. We got, what we do. See what we do. You know what I'm saying? We might be 0-3, but we having fun.
Hey,
look at this.
Tim, for Tim, I mean, Jorge doesn't have to lose it. He'll just do that anyway.
So. He still got it in his closet, probably.
The poor man isn't here to defend himself, all right?
I know.
Be nice, guys.
Dang, I went lonely on the SADC? What? Okay.
Oh, yeah, you sure did.
Yep.
You sure did.
Yep.
Wait, I went lonely on the Battlehawks, too?
Dude, DJ, y'all
just want to give me the prize, man.
Look, you're doing logical. I'm thinking with my heart. At the end of the day, I'll never give it to Battlehawks.
That's what I'm thinking about.
I'll never give it to the Stallions. Nope.
See, y'all thinking with y'all heart. I'm thinking with my brain.
Okay. That's okay.
What she just said.
I know. That's okay.
Look, I'm thinking with my brain. I'm like, look, I'm making the right picks.
Listen. Obviously, I'm going to pick against St. Louis, but in this game, I'm actually picking based on the strength of the teams. I think St. Louis had a good run. I think they went up against a real team, got knocked in the mouth. I can't believe y'all
pick Arlington, though.
I'm going to pick Arlington over St. Louis. I think they're going to be the stronger team. Okay.
They looked tricky last week to me.
I don't think Houston's going to take out Stallions. I think obviously, that's a David versus Goliath situation. David could potentially win. I just don't see it though.
Whoa, Jackie, you pick Houston?
I just said
Oh
I will
my
never pick the
God.
Stallions. They will never get my vote. St. Louis will never get my vote.
Wow.
They ruined it for me. They don't get. I have no faith in either one of
Yep.
them. I don't care how good they
Okay.
act.
Yep.
So
No.
that's an easy scratch. Like I could scratch her off. She ain't trying to win nothing.
Wait,
She ain't
you
trying to
just
win
watch.
nothing.
Wait until the Houston Roughnecks come up on the little ponies. Because at the end of the day, I'm hoping everybody in this league shuts them down. Period. That's my
Yep.
Hey,
hope.
I'm
And the
still running
same
with
for
my.
St. Louis. Because you know what? At the end of the day, they were terrible hosts last year, and when they don't make it again to championship, they're going to be terrible hosts this year.
Yep.
And maybe the UFL will realize that's a terrible place to have a championship again.
Look,
Yep.
I'm sticking with my
That's my
original
TED
plan.
Talk.
I'm sticking with my original plan. I
Thank
did think
you,
that we would
James.
beat Michigan, but it's
Thank
okay.
you.
But I'm still rolling with the. You gotta prove me. You gotta prove to me. Make me wrong. That's where I'm at.
Yep. And I'm hoping that my juju, my reverse juju works. That I'm picking the Stallions,
Zane's
brings
messy,
the
man.
curse on them, and they lose. Right. I picked
Whoa, Mike
Michigan to
picking
win.
Houston?
Do what?
No, I was
Oh
saying
yeah.
Mike said he picking Houston too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
I think y'all need to start listening to me. Y'all,
There's no
mhm.
way. Look,
I
what,
cannot
what,
wait.
what I said earlier. You got to twist both of my arms and dunk my head in water
Hey, it's
to make
already
me
been
pick
done
Houston.
once. It's already been done once. So,
Okay.
Okay. Well, I let's root for Houston for the surprise win. You know. But again,
So why
I'm
y'all
picking
picking
San Antonio.
why you picking San Antonio?
oh,
Well,
This
my
is
team
good.
all
This
the
is good
way.
actually. I want all y'all opinions on that. Why y'all picking San Antonio?
All the
okay.
way. I'm with my team all the way. Win or lose.
Come on, Jackie. Okay, other than Jackie, Brian and
I mean, really, like we saw this past week, we saw a completely different team. The team we saw last week can beat anybody. Like they were good enough. They had the offensive scheme. Yeah, there's something some stuff they need to iron out to get better, but they can run with anybody. So that's
Mhm.
the
They're
team I
on the
expect to
cusp
see,
of greatness.
coming through. If they clean up those stupid penalties, some of those kind of off passes, communication issues, I see no reason they couldn't run the table the rest of the season. So that's why I'm picking them this week. They got to start. They got to start this week. They know what is on the table for them. They know like that the season is teetering on being nothing. So I think they're gonna have a good week of practice. Party's gonna light a fire under them, and they're gonna come out with the win.
Two reasons why I picked San Antonio. First and foremost, we saw what they did on a short week. The coaching staff change just happened on Tuesday. So they had basically Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to basically build from the ground up. Okay. We were able to do that with a very strong Michigan team in only 3 days, right? And then the other thing is what we talked about before, the grit of the players. We know we've got dogs on our team. Now they're going to have a full week under Coach Party to get things straightened out, to get the mistakes that they made fixed. And the pressure is on, right? We can't lose out anymore. They know that. We know that. They're going to be in the trenches fighting. So they're going to want to rise up to that challenge, especially being down 0-3 right now, to show the league and to show the scouts and everybody else who's been, doubting them and, casting dispersions about their talent level and stuff. And I'm speaking to you St. Louis fans, you know who I'm talking about. They're going to want to come back and make a big time statement in this game. Now, is it going to be easy? No. But do they have the fight in them to get into this game and fight till the very end and pull off that victory? Yes, they do. That's why I picked San Antonio.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Why did
So,
you pick DC?
Well, I already told you why I picked DC, and it's a little reverse psychology. Make me pick San Antonio. That's all I'm saying.
yeah,
Make me pick San Antonio.
that's what I did last week.
And the Birmingham Houston, I ain't gotta say nothing about that. Uh, Battlehawks and Renegades, I really think that. But you know what? DC and Battle and St. Louis always play each other tough. Like that's a crazy rivalry like that nobody ever speaks of, other than probably their fan base. But that's a good rivalry. But I think that that was going to be a good game, which it was. And this is Battlehawks bounce back game. They have good coaching. They have a good solid quarterback. But he did get cooked. He got cooked last game.
But you also have an Arlington team they had a close game against Birmingham. They're pissed off at the way they lost. I mean, even though it was a legitimate call, but they're still pissed about it. So they're gonna come out with something to prove as well. So,
I just think that I'm taking the Battlehawks defense over the Arlington Renegades offense. That's all I'm gonna say. And then Michigan and Memphis, it is what it is with that one.
Yeah, after what we saw, we saw this past weekend, Michigan's still strong.
Yeah,
very strong.
Michigan is good. Is the unrated team or the underrated team, just like they were last year. It's just this year people got eyes on them now. So,
well, that's going to be hard to get pressure on Te'amu because we only got 2 sacks so far this season. That's not good.
Two or three. I mean, they were both last game.
And we do bad against running quarterbacks, so that's also not good.
But, right. That was this last game. We got 2 or 3 sacks this last game.
We only accounted for one sack.
Bro, KP, come on, man. With your Houston little man, y'all trash, man. Y'all down there with us.
My gosh.
What am I taking?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Wait till we play y'all, man.
Hey, Jack, real quick while we're on this slide. That's a really nice logo there on the bottom right, Jackie.
Ooh.
I mean, it was so good that St. Louis thought they could take it and use it for themselves and start selling some merch. At the end of the day, they're still not like us. Yeah. They're still not like us because we don't rip it off of another team. At least the way that we should put it out there is, as far as in this league, nobody had this logo.
Right.
I had it way before the team, like before the season started. It was already in existence. People are already wearing the shirts before the first game. So,
yeah.
Speaking of merch, y'all, there's that QR code over there. We should mention this month is Military Children Appreciation Month. Hit it up. Our first home game is going to be in honor of the military children. $2 of everything in this collection goes to Mission 22 that benefits our military that are trying to come back into their regular homes, giving them the mental health, all of the tools that they need to be back in their normal lives and from where they were before. So hit up the merch. If you got military brats, they come in all the way from baby sizes, even adult sizes. Because I don't care how old I am, I'm still a military brat. So, anyways, we changed the site up a little bit, so now you know where to watch it, what time we start, what day, all of that good stuff. So that's what we're looking at this coming week, as far as the games go.
So again, make sure that you're tuning in. Go to your favorite local sports bar, not just to watch our game, but make sure you're watching all the games, right? Because eyes on this league does matter. That's revenue for the league, helps keep everything going. And we are, at the end of the day, one family. We talk trash, we take shots at each other, things like that. But it's all about the league. So make sure you're doing your part to support it. Watch the games, even if you don't have a vested interest in it. Watch the games so you can, make sure that you're doing your part to support stuff. I have no idea you're holding up like some kind of ghost phone or something there.
Like we did after our game when we went to a little pizza place in Detroit to watch.
He stole a pizza spatula, like legit. Like he was like being real sneaky, and he's like, "I'm gonna steal this." He puts it in his little freaking.
Bro, there's no way you stole that spatula.
He did.
It's a souvenir. It was my souvenir.
And then,
did you pay for that?
It was my souvenir.
Well, did you pay for it?
It was
a free souvenir.
It was
a free souvenir.
Yes.
They didn't say he couldn't. They didn't say he couldn't take it. They didn't say it didn't come with the meal.
Did you go behind the counter to get that?
No, I paid.
No, each little pizza had their own little personal spatula, And the way that he was so excited once he got past security at airport, he literally goes, my spatula made it
Yeah,
through.
my spatula through.
I don't
I'm
think they're
like,
going to
what?
check your bags for that for a spatula. You should be fine.
Now they probably thought like, oh, this boy bringing it home.
Oh my God!
I know, I
Tim,
recognize
Tim
that
tag,
little spatula.
Tim tag, Detroit PD.
Oh, great. Now BD's going to be on America's Most Wanted. Way to go, bud.
Way to
Stealing
go.
his Detroit pizza spatula, personal
Bro, did I add
spatula.
him back? I think Tim sent me his friend request. I think I added him back.
That's yeah. By the way, Tim, snitches get stitches, so
That's right.
watch it. Okay. All right. Rick, thank you so much.
You.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, we
definitely much appreciated. So again, get out, watch the game. Any one of the local sports bars that are part of the affiliation network, and if
we
not,
get that it's
watch
Easter
it
too. So if you don't have plans during that time, like hit up a place, put it on at your house while the kids are Easter egg hunting or whatever they do. There's always going to be a TV, so definitely.
Well, it's late enough in the afternoon. It really should not affect anyone's plans. So
Arlington, they're just showing us that they know how to count, which is really impressive. So good for them.
Yep. So that's all right. They'll be down there with us soon enough. So anyways, with that being the case, let's go ahead and wrap it up here. We've paid some bills. We're good to go. And we are way
Thanks to AFN. Tomorrow, Texas Talking Football, our brother station. Are y'all going to be on?
Yes,
we will definitely be on.
And we'll also Arlington fans, we'll dive into y'all's game a lot more. So
yeah. Also, cannot say this enough, but thank you to My Panther Pride for being such welcoming, inviting hosts. You guys treated us well. Great biscuits and gravy. Oh, it was on, man. Hopefully, the team's momentum catches on with the fans there, and they start picking up more people, because I know My Panther Pride is out there busting their tails trying to bring awareness like we did at the very beginning.
Yeah, they were us 3 years ago.
Yeah, make sure that you're sharing their information. If you know anybody up in the Michigan area, let them know Detroit's got a team, and it's not the kitty cats. It's a different cat, and this one's one that we'll tolerate, right? So, anyways, with that being the case, Jackie, close us out.
Don't tell me what to do. Bye, guys.
Horns forward, baby.